Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. It is nice to see you, and we have a guest today, Samir. So Pratik and Mate and Luke and Woof and Taz and Aussie Boy. It's a good crowd so far. And so, what we're going to do today, this is quite fun because Samir turned up on a stream like a couple of months ago. Is that? I think it was a couple of months ago, and basically was like, "Hey, have you used gatling?" Which obviously I hadn't at the time. I still haven't. And Bobby, lovely to see you. So I have to give you fair warning. The cat is she is about, and she feels like she should be in charge. A few minutes ago, she was controlling the Twitch stream, and so I don't exactly know what's going to happen. Win, nice to see you. Or Kian, lovely to have you join us. And so I should say before we start that Gatling has very kindly sponsored this stream. So it's my first sponsored stream ever. So be nice to Samir. I tend to be nice anyway, so I think that will be fine. Joaquin, nice to see you. Okay, so the idea is, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. So page speed. I don't know if if I've talked about page speed or people are aware of it. But PageSpeed is an app that that I built a little while ago. I think I got the domain name first. I was like, I have PageSpeed, and you can put any domain in there, and it will fetch the PageSpeed insights for it. So it will pull a lighthouse test there, and it will pull the crux data, and so you can explore like the real data set. The data set that it's pulling from on Google, but it's quite slow. It takes a while to load. And often when you want to share stuff, you want to be able to give a direct link to people and be able to see that like in a preview image as well. And Lighthouse 2 is also very difficult to share. So you get Lighthouse data, but it's not instant. So if you go to pagespeed.web.dev, which is the official site, and paste it in, it's going to take so here's the crux data, and then it's going to take a little while to actually pull the lighthouse test. So the idea is page speed should be like a super simple thing. You just have this URL, and you can just, if I just open a new page, paste the URL, it should load pretty instant. Like you can't even see how fast it loads, right? So it should be super fast, and hopefully it should also be quite resilient to lots of people accessing it. But I'm really hoping that Samir is going to help me with that. So Samir, tell me, what is Gatling for anybody who doesn't know what it is?
So like typically Gatling is mostly like a load testing tool. So typically we will generate user coming into your website and you will see like if your website crash, have bottleneck or other stuff, for example. And one of the great benefit of Gatling is typically that it load testing as code. So for developers, you are not like, oh, I need to install this tool and I need to learn a new language. It's typically you just need like, if you know TypeScript, JavaScript, Java, or other thing, it's just the same code and aspect that a feature developed in TypeScript.
Okay. Okay. So I can put some code in my code base here. So this is my website, and that I can sort of specify the kind of load test that I want.
Yeah, because you have like you have multiple load test type typically because it's depend of also the situation. Since maybe like you go on TV because I don't know, like your project is really good and you pass on TV, and now it's more like stress test. So we'll simulate I don't know like 1 million user at one time, or it can be like more like on a long time checking if you don't have like memory leak, etc. For example.
Okay. Okay. So and you could test like a staging environment, like for memory leaks, for example.
So for example, you have like uh, you have typically what is called a SOC test. So typically it's a load test that you will be running for I don't know like 1 or 2 months typically, and at the end you will see that maybe I don't know like in 3 or 4 weeks maybe you have like a feature which is like going memory leak for example, which is not really like visible at the beginning or after one day.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Pratik asks, can we test any website? Um, in other
So
words, in other words, is this like a DDoS as a service? Luke suggests.
so so, so it's not really like DDoS as a service because like the company buys the project and doing its own website. So, but I see what you say like DDoS, but I will I would say that don't use like only use Gatling on your website that you own. Don't use it on other website. Typically, first you will get banned. And for the question of like who is Patrick, you can easily test. It depends. Like if you use TypeScript and JavaScript, right now it's only for like HTTP application. If you use the other SDK, which is like Java, Scala, and Kotlin, you can test kind of any type of application. You can test like with SSC, with HTTP, gRPC, MQTT, for example. So it's kind of like we have a lot of protocol typically. But right now with TypeScript and JavaScript, it's only HTTP application typically.
So typically, what I do up to now, I use like Apache benchmark. So I use AB or something like that, like this, and I specify like lots of requests, and I use this just to test memory leaks often with a local server. Um, but this is open source, right? Gatling is open source. There is an open source tool here that I'm testing today, and you also have a
So
cloud offering.
yeah, it's this. We have like open source software, which is like you can test it, you can do mostly a lot of things with it. But the load generator is typically uh, like the server or the computer will send the user typically. And if you have the open source version, typically it will be like your computer sending the user. So you need to have like good a good computer if you want to send a lot of user. And if you use Gatling Enterprise, typically we host the load generator, so you just need like to think about the testing, and us we have like all the whole infrastructure typically.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it seems like a good, like, I get the value proposition there. I don't want to be, because actually, often the problem is, and people will say this about nuxt websites. They will say, oh, it only, I tried to send a lot of requests to it and it didn't work. And what they actually are bumping up against is the HTTP network layer on their own computer. Like, there are only so many sockets that can be opened on their own computer to their own website on their own computer to test it. And so at some point when that gets full, then the sort of requests start piling up. And then when they resolve, it obviously takes quite a while for that to happen. But they're not testing Nuxt or Nitro, they're testing like their own network layer rather than
Yeah.
like the actual site or the server. Uh, okay, so how do I get started? I want to test this.
So typically, like you need to have like the prerequisites, so like Node and npm, and
Yeah.
after you just need like to click on download Gatling, which inside of it you will see like two folders, so TypeScript and JavaScript, and you will have like a small example of a scenario typically.
Do I really need to download this as opposed to just installing it in my project? Or
It's not obligatory, but if you begin with Gatling, it's really a, I would say you really need to download this if you are just a beginner with Gatling, because you will see like a test and you have all directly like with a good folder, etc.
okay, so and I've got to say I don't like downloading zips. I want to be able to just install something or run a CLI tool. So but okay, so I've got this here. So I have source folder, which is
This is a simulation of Gatling. It's just like a
okay.
small example. After you can just like you can test it, like see of Gatling work. Typically, you just need to run a command, or you can take it and personalize this with your Page Dev website.
Okay, so I'm just going to pull this out. Now, would you keep this in with your main code base, or would you have a separate repo?
For the load testing,
Yes.
like you can have like a second repo if you want, but personally, I will just put it on the same repo because one also aspect of Gatling Enterprise is this. that you can easily, I would say, like put the latest of gatling directly into your CI/CD. So for example, if you have like a GitHub action or a GitHub CI/CD on, I don't know, like you have your application, when you push a commit, you create a new staging environment on, I don't know, like Azure, etc., etc. You can directly put the test, like launching the test on Gatling directly on the CI/CD. So I would say put it on the same repo directly.
Okay, makes sense. Balint, this is I've done things like this before. I'm actually really keen to get people on. So if you know anybody you would like me to talk to, I would love it actually. But yes, it is a little bit different. And I was saying to people earlier that actually Gatling has sponsored the stream. I just want to tell you that. It's not going to change anything from my point of view, but it is very kind of them. And yes, it is going to be available as a video on demand later. Okay, so I have this here, and actually I feel like eventually I would just add this as a dev dependency of my my workspace, and it looks like these are the dependencies. But there's a build process. So does that build like a? Where does that build? I guess I can try it out, right? Like that's the best way to answer these questions.
It's because on the JavaScript and TypeScript implementation, we use GraalVM, which is like a thing to convert the JavaScript and TypeScript to some code of Java typically for now.
To Java? Samir, you didn't tell me. Java? Goodness me. I'm shocked.
I'm sorry, man. But it's a good language.
That's fine. No, it is. The okay, so right, let's just see what happens if I build it.
Don't worry, like you don't need to install by yourself. Like Gatling will directly install for you.
Oh, interesting. This is probably, let's see. It's doing a type test, and somehow it's capturing the context of my project above it. Probably because it's aware that it's a workspace, for goodness sake.
You don't have this with Java, typically.
No. Okay. Right. I see. The multi-language. Oh, Balint, I would love to do Coolify, actually. If we can get Andras, I would absolutely love to chat to him. Martin, nice to see you. And Joaquin, I didn't know that. 28 years. Are you still developing in Java? You can answer all my questions.
Sorry. Just for Capulara, like Gatling, like the TypeScript and JavaScript version, is really new. It's like, I would say like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's pretty new right now.
This is actually totally my fault because I removed the TS config that it came with. So I should probably not have done that. Let's just reinitialize. Actually, I should have just extracted just that file. But anyway, oops.
It's when you don't follow documentation.
I don't like following documentation. I prefer to chart my own path. But it is very frustrating, I'm sure, for anyone. I think there are probably a lot of Nuxt users as well who chart their own path too. Okay. And then they file issues, and I'm like, no, that's not what you do.
Oh. So you will recommend to read like Nuxt documentation or just
probably, but I do try to I basically. No, I don't do what I say at all. I play around with things, and that is how I learn them, rather than reading the docs, to be brutally honest. But I'm not proud of that. You know, I do feel to myself that's not quite right. But that is what I do. Okay, let's see. Can I build it now? Presumably yes. Okay, so it built a simulation and it put it out to target.
You want to run the simulation?
Yeah. Is that going to... Okay, cool. So is that going to hit my... No, it won't, of course, because the simulation is just...
No, right now, no, because the URL of the simulation is like, computer database. Yes. If you want to... but in order to send people to your website, you will need to change some type, like some file, and not some file, but some part of the scenario if you want to ping page speed.
Yeah.
But check computer database is a, I would say, old website, not the old website, but
Yeah.
it's a backend website with not really front end.
Okay. So this will just show me what it will do. Oh, I guess I can't run it with. I must probably have to run it with
Oh,
Gatling
you you need to
recorder.
like you if you check the readme normally you have a
Yeah. Check the README. Goodness.
yeah.
README. This is terrible. You have to extract that file again. Okay, I'm gonna extract it again.
No, but if you want, I can give you the comment.
Okay. Here's the README. I'm what is it? README.
Okay, so like yeah, it's just type npx.
Oh, there's the README.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you have
Okay.
the TypeScript sample.
Yeah. So, have you created this README? Am I basically in my like ignoring it? I'm basically driving stakes into your heart. Is that what's
No,
going
it's
on?
not me who it's not me who made this with me. But I think I can ask the developer who made it if your work is hard or not.
Okay, so like we run this recorder thing, which also is here in the scripts, and I guess we just run pnp
So you
recorder.
have so with yeah, so it's not the same thing recorder.
Okay.
Recorder is another thing. So typically is recorder is just like a
Ah,
tool will permit you to like you go, I don't know, like for example, you put a proxy, you have two way. You put a proxy on your browser,
yeah,
and when you run the recorder, Gatling will detect all the requests and create for you a scenario. You have this way. Or you can just like going into Google Chrome, Mozilla, Opera, Internet Explorer if you want,
yeah,
and like just open the dev tool on network, and you can like just going into request and create a hash file.
yeah.
And after you can, it's typically, for example, when you want like when for example you're a beginner with Gatling and you want a fast simulation, not optimized, but a simulation.
Okay, well, I mean that would actually be a good thing to do because I can build my own one that way. But I can also, I'll just do the run command, which I guess is going to run the one I've already built here.
It's a computer database. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're downloading Growl VM, which
Don't worry, it's
and Matty, I like it IKEA style. That's going to have to be like I think we should write a book, right? We should write a IKEA style. Should be the title, coding IKEA
but
style, something along those lines.
but normally it's not so long to download the Gold VM.
It might be. I wonder. That's a good question. I'm going to quit Olama. Not that it should be doing any downloads. And let me just. Oh, that looked like it might have downloaded something. Ooh. Oh.
Ooh.
No. That's where it's downloading it to. Why would it not? Let's just see how big it is.
I
That's
don't
not
know
very
because
big. So it's not huge.
yeah,
This is my internet probably more than anything else. Okay, well while we do that, I wonder if we can run the recorder. Or that probably also needs to download the file.
you can try to run it. It's just npx Gatling recorder.
Yeah. And that will it's unpacking. And that would basically it would assume I don't have any source file and it will just produce a
It
file.
yeah, it will assume that you don't have a simulation, and
Yeah.
they will like if in the true way, like if you use a proxy or if you use a second method, it will take the file into input, the file
Yeah.
that you send, like the proxy, the request, etc., and give you a file. Yeah, give you a Gatling simulation.
Okay, and so that's what these things are, these different files in the source directory. They're simulations. And when I have something that's built, like bundle, then it has like a range of simulations in it, I'm guessing.
So typically on resource is typically, for example, if you want, because Gatling also offers the option of putting information into your simulation
Yeah.
with CSV JSON file. So this CSV JSON file will be on the resource.
Yeah.
Mostly on the resource, you can put it everywhere you want, but in in the best practice, it will be on the resource. For the SRC, it's typically where you have the simulation. And target is kind of two things because when you run a simulation, you will get the report directly on target. You will get a folder with the name on target typically. And after you have the readme that you need to read before doing.
Okay. That is fair. De Vandenbergen, thank you for that. Good spot. And Volcanax, nice to see you. Welcome. Okay, we are running the simulation. And I'm hoping this isn't going to ban me or DDoS the actual stream.
No. It's on computer database. Normally you are good normally. Don't worry. It's mostly I think it's mostly on maybe Azure that will get banned. I think.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. The
No,
violation of
but
terms of service or something like that. Okay, so we have a
yeah,
file which I'm just going to open. I guess I can open that in my browser.
yeah. It's HTML.
Ooh, beautiful. Okay, so I've got something here which gives me some time.
So it's typically the whole information that of your simulation. So if you go up, you will have like the response time for the page typically
Yeah.
for the global scenario because you can have a scenario with like I don't know like you want to test the home thing like the home page. After that, you want to test the shop page. So first you have like a global vision, and here you have details, for example.
Mm.
And you can see for each page. So for example, here you can see for home, you can see for the from or the post at the end, and you will have a lot of information because you will see the response time range. You will see also like how many people is I don't know like under 3 seconds, under 2 seconds, 3 seconds, which is like pretty high for for now. Nowadays, 3 seconds is pretty high. And
So,
also you can have a lot of other information typically.
is there a way of changing those like ranges, or is it based on the data that comes back?
So it's based on the data that come back from Gatling.
Okay. Okay, so let's do a recorder because I really like the sound of that. Let's see. We'll do recorder TypeScript. I guess that's
You don't need to put TypeScript.
Okay. Okay, so
So
this
you
is
have so this is a recorder, but you have two ways to do it. It's depend
okay.
of you. Do you want to put a HTTP proxy right now in I don't know like Mozilla or Google Chrome, or just use the dev tool of Chrome?
DevTool seems good.
Okay, so you just need right now like to go on any website, typically on Google Chrome or
Yeah. Oh, it's like okay. Here I am, my website.
and you just go into network.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, and when you will do a request, typically like the same thing. When you will do a request, typically you will see the list of requests in network.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, I don't know, like normally if you reload the page, you will see the request at the right normally.
Yeah. Here they are.
Yeah, and if you click on one thing, like on one file, right click,
Yes.
sorry, you can save it. Yeah, like this.
Cool.
And with this, and you will give this file to the recorder of Gatling. You
Okay.
need to change the type like on the top right. Because right now the top right you're on HTTP proxy.
So I go for provided key store.
No. Like you really yeah, because like just expand the window.
Oh, I see. Okay, there we
Yeah.
go.
And
R
yeah.
converter. Great.
And you need to browse now. You just need to put in the input your file, the hash file.
Oops. I've got it somewhere here. Page speed.
You just put a destination folder typically, like where you want just below where you want to have your simulation on the output section.
Cool. And we'll say, I don't know, recordings.
Like,
And we'll say, I don't know, recordings. 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 And we'll say, I don't know, recordings.
Just
Good.
catch where you put it because it's a folder on your computer.
Oh, I see. Right. So we want it to be in code. Daniel Rowe, page speed.dev, recordings.
And you just need to, like, if you go on the right, yeah, start.
Cool. Yes. I'm not saying anything negative about this user interface. Valent.
Yeah, but
It is
you
a,
don't need to have like beautiful interface ways where everything works typically.
that is true. Okay, so am I missing something? Is this running?
It's weird because normally normally it's working, so
Okay, I'm getting some kind of stack trace, I think.
it's maybe that you don't have Java. Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Okay, well, look, this is incredibly valuable feedback. Okay, let's install Java. Is that really what I do? Do we install Java? Is that going to do anything for me? Joaquin, I need you now. This is when you come into play. You're like, this is what we have to have.
No, but where he didn't read the documentation.
You're right. Okay, so should I go back to the README? I will read. I'm at this point. I
No, no,
am
no, no, but really, I don't know why you need Java because normally
okay.
you don't need.
So let's open the docs for the recorder, and we will actually pay attention this time because I feel so hypocritical not reading the docs. Okay, it does just say, okay, install the Gatling installation, and then you do. It runs on a JVM. Install Gatling using a zip file for build tools or a JavaScript package manager. That should be fine. There's also a standalone bundle. There's a VS Code tool for. That seems not. I don't think it's saying we have to build it from scratch. I think we should just be able to use it here.
Yeah, normally you should be able to. But if you will launch a recorder without the TypeScript stuff,
maybe it's passing that arg on at that point. Like, okay, so har converter, pull in our.
yeah, you need to
speed.
redo everything.
Come on, page speed. And yeah, recorder simulation is fine. And then maybe it was my folder. Maybe it's expecting it to be in a slightly different format. So we'll say, we'll stick it in page speed. And oh, I have to pick a folder within it. So we'll do.
Or don't tell me that it's because
I can't
something
click
on
choose.
yeah, because you are on the file. No, because I think you click on the wrong button. I think you click on the hash file and not the output.
I clicked here, browse simulations
you
folder.
click here.
So maybe it has to be an empty folder or something. All files. Okay, let's just go back into my folder, and let's make an empty folder. And so we now have a recordings. Interesting.
Oh, okay. Do go back.
Yeah.
And don't open it. Just click on it. No. Click on, like, go and browse. Click on one folder, which one you want, and choose.
Okay. There we go. Martin, the status of Nitro 3 is that is that there are some other ecosystem things that are being done, but there is active work, and I think we'll see a release of Nitro 2.10 quite soon to keep us. So we have some enhancements on the way, even before we get to Nitro 3. Okay, so start. Yes, it worked. Yeah. It worked fine. So it must have been the it must have been the dash dash TypeScript thing at the end. Okay, so this
So
is the
now
problem. Real users come in and we sort of do crazy stuff. That's how I'm justifying not reading the instructions.
yeah, because if you read the instruction, you will see that you don't need the TypeScript flag. So now you just need to go in your folder and you will get
no, Samir, look.
Oh.
It does say Gatling recorder TypeScript. I knew I was following something. Okay, enough of the.
My bad.
Okay, so we have a recording, I think. So to close out target.
Yeah, you just need to
recorded simulation. Okay, so it's popped all my headers.
Hopefully it's why I say it's not like really optimized, because when you do a Gatling scenario, you will not put like all the header for each page typically, because it's kind of the same every time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of time is kind of the same on all the websites. But it's kind of giving you a small, directly small simulation.
Yeah. Luke suggests that maybe the issue before was that I picked a path that didn't exist, which is very likely I did pick a path that didn't exist because I just typed it in.
Oh.
It was a folder that I was sort of thinking it might create, but no. Okay. Right. I'm so spoiled, right? Okay. Let's run
it. Remember, we use Java, so too difficult to create folder.
Okay, so we'll call this page speed. I popped it in source and .gatling. And I guess I now just have to build in exactly the same way.
No, so if you want only to run it, you can just do it in one command typically.
Oh, without needing to build. So it will.
Yeah, if you check the README.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you don't need to rub it in.
It's not a running gag, but it's just written there. But you have like the npx gatling run simulation. Wait, it's no, in the TypeScript. I think it's upper than. So no, because this one is for JavaScript.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you need to change computer database with the name of the file you want to test.
And do I need to have that simulation thing in there? What does that do for me?
It's because you can have like multiple simulation in the folder, in your folder. So it permits to see like I want to launch this simulation and not this one.
Okay. So I'll just run gatling run TypeScript simulation page speed.
Yep.
Okay.
And normally you will get banned in 3 seconds. Oh, you're not banned.
You think I'm banned?
Oh, but wait. No.
We have a file. Let's see. It was either extremely quick or I got banned.
No,
no, it made 4 requests. 4 requests. Okay, 4 requests is probably not enough to get banned, right?
Yeah. And I think for the file, it's because maybe like Google Chrome push you a file somewhere, like saying that you need a file. Yeah, the request thing, like the body. You can remove it. You don't really. Yeah, I think it's come from Google Chrome because maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he saw a file and.
So I will say, like, you don't need to read docs. I'm just putting this. You don't need to read the docs unless you're about to create an issue on a repository. Then you need to read the docs.
No, but it was just asking who are you in the simulation. I was just giving him like a clear path to get the answer.
Exactly. Samir is totally within his rights here at this point. That is why it's so funny. Okay, so this is actually plausible.
Yeah,
so I'm actually tracking events, and so I don't really want to load test my analytics over my website.
It's because like this one is not because of Gatling. This one is because of Google Chrome that it takes.
No. Exactly. It's totally right. Like that is a thing, but I presume I would remove it. Because I don't want to load test my own. I would be like, there's a real spike of people going to page speed. So I'll
don't
get rid
remove
of that.
but I think the URL was used maybe somewhere else on the code.
I think no, it was only used in that one place. So when I got rid of it, it sort of tells me it's not used.
If you go up, you don't have.
No, it's not used.
Okay, but where?
But we have two URLs. So there's this one, which is the Yeah, the plausible. So then,
Yeah, I didn't read the code. My bad.
telling me not to read the README and then you don't read the code. Okay. So, okay. So we basically, it looks to me like reading this file, and I guess comparing it with this, like this seems quite readable, like the
Yeah,
syntax.
it's kind of also what we wanted like to achieve with Gatling is
Yeah,
that it's really easy to read the code. When you read the Gatling code, you see that you need to, I don't know, like going into this page with this header, etc. And
yeah,
also another one, if maybe one day you will go into Java,
yeah,
we don't know. It's really easy to convert it into Java because it's the same function.
yeah. Okay, okay. I will trust you on that one. Okay, so basically, but yeah, like this is all seems nice. You sort of chain it. This is a bit like, I don't know, something like Cypress or whatever. And then you exec the scenario. And then we have this sort of
So
setup,
on the
ramp
setup is
users.
typically how you will generate the user. You can like ramp up, so it's like 5 people at the beginning, and after I don't know, like 5 seconds is 10, 10 seconds is 20. You
Yeah,
can have like 20 people coming at the same time and just lift in 1 second because I don't like your website, maybe.
yeah,
Or you can have like a constant user. It's typically 20 user for 1 hour or something like this.
yeah. Okay. And Gatling would run for that amount of time.
So yeah.
But
After, if you use the open source version, the user will come from your computer. So typically, it will be like your computer generating the user. If you are on the enterprise thing, it's directly Gatling will generate the user for you.
yeah.
Because you will, in order to generate the user, you will need to use like some RAM and CPU typically.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Okay, so I can basically do something like this to make it parallel. So I have total 10 users and over 10 seconds. Or 10 milliseconds? What is the time? I would guess seconds.
A second. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you guess well. Didn't need
Yeah,
to
I
read the
think
documentation.
this is okay. So basically, okay, so that makes sense. So we can basically create 10 users, and this has like multiple scenarios, and different scenarios can have different number of users browsing them, presumably at the same time.
You
So
can
like,
also, for one scenarios, having multiple type of people coming. You can
yeah,
like on one scenario, you can say like I don't know, like 20 user who come at one time,
yeah.
and 20 ramp user, and I don't know everything else, for example.
Okay, and that would be good for like testing stuff like cross-request state pollution or something like that, because you're saying we have different kinds of users, different permissions, different headers. Some have authorizations, some have cookies, some don't. Let's throw it all at the site at the same time, because that's sometimes people do struggle with that, which is that their tests are like, you can load test like a single URL, just hit it lots of times with HTTP request, but like really you want to have an idea of what happens when you have different types of people using the website at the same time. So that makes sense. Okay, so we've changed this. Is 10 users over 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Is
So
that
it will
reasonable?
it will just like to understand, it will like divide the 10 by small amount in order like to have at the end 10 people in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So you will not have like 10 people at 0 second. You will have at the end 10 people. So
Okay.
like maybe one at like one every second. Yeah, typically it will be one every second right now.
Okay. So I don't think I'll get banned for that, right? Like that seems like a reasonable.
You can try.
I'm gonna try.
No, but
Okay.
I think for 10%, you will not get banned.
Okay.
But
If I get banned, I'm definitely holding you responsible. Like that's just.
it's no. But the thing is, you need
You've said
like
this a lot of times. I feel like I might get banned. I feel
no,
like
but
you're saying this enough times that I'm worried now.
yeah,
Uh,
no, but
Okay.
maybe.
So I have now a better stat, Still feeling good. Like here's our, okay, just to compare, like this is the demo
Computer database.
project. And oh, that's the total number, right? This is not the time. Response time.
So you have the response time range at the left.
Yeah, yeah.
So
On the
like
left.
everybody, yeah, like just up. It's not like the real. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
the real response time
it's
range, but it's
all
like
it's less than 800
it's
milliseconds, which I feel like is a
yeah.
very like it's a so we're
And
talking about
if
the
you go
mean.
down, you have like more detail. If you
Yeah.
go down on the response time range.
So we've got, yeah, those are active users, our response time. Ooh, interesting. There's some that are quite far to the right, but nothing over 400 milliseconds. This is, I like, this is beautiful. Okay. Pretty consistent because it's only 10 users, one more user per second. So, okay.
But it's like it's 1 user per second, but it's kind of like at 1 second you have one, but at 2 seconds you have 2 users at the same time.
Yeah.
Because the first still doing stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of graph is the number of
Yeah. Requests
you have
per
a question
second.
about like now the number of requests or
Yeah. So
is this one?
this is number of requests, and this is because I guess with the other scenario you had two different types of users, each doing three different types of thing. So in the computer database example, you had the exec search and browse, and then admins doing search, browse, and edit. I'm guessing, right? So each of those those are three different things, and the search is basically going to the website, then
So search is going to
doing all
website.
of this.
Edit is adding a computer, and the last one it was what? Search, edit, and
browse.
browse is
Just
yeah, just
looking
browsing,
at stuff.
just going into like page 1, page 2, page 3. No, the
And
circular one.
so each user is doing two things, like two scenarios, and then each admin is doing three scenarios. And so the admins are, two users doing those three things, and then the normal users are 10 of them doing those two things. So like I guess it's a lot more actions being taken than the one we've just created, which is just 10 users doing one thing. Or I guess two HTTP requests.
2 things.
Like this isn't even browse, like this isn't even interacting with the page. This is just making HTTP requests. So like it's I guess it doesn't make a difference how much you do. This Gatling is still only measuring the time to get the HTTP response, right? It's not measuring the time it takes to click around the page. Or
No,
is it?
Yeah. No, it's not like clicking on the page because it's mostly that when we get the response of the page, but after if you want like to interact with the page, typically,
Yeah.
you can easily doing some check. So when you have on computer database, you can check the status code, for example.
Yeah.
So if you want I don't know, like a normal one, which is like 200 or a special one for something, or you can check with like text, regex, if you have, I don't know, like a special string into your website, for example. Like if you want, I don't know, like you go on one page, you want to have not your logo, but your slogan on the website on this page, for example, you can easily check if it exists on the page.
Okay. Okay, and that's where you could do some kind of assertions effectively so that you fail it. If, for example, and this is something that also people often do wrong when they're doing benchmarking. Like if you're just benchmarking the speed of a response, but not the content of the response, and you get errors, errors are often very fast to render because they don't have to do anything else. Like the error page comes straight up and you can think, I have fantastic results. They're just coming back so quickly. And then it's not until later you realize, actually, I was benchmarking my error page because it was just a 500 error all the time. And that is a thing worth learning.
Or sometimes you have also some websites we don't really like they're not really block you, but they send you just a page, like an example page with nothing on it, and you just like speed test a blank page.
So let's just add like we want this made with love to be there, right? Can I just assert that? So we're getting this, and how would I check if? What is the computer database doing? It presumably is looking for something at some point.
So so the search thing is we go on
Check.
home, we wait for for 1 second.
Yeah.
The feeder is typically a CSV file that we have on resource if you want to check it.
Oh, sorry.
Like on the resource folder,
Yeah.
you have normal a share CSV.
Ah.
This one is come because it was like your website, you download the file. But here it was like if you want, for example, I don't know, like you have an e-commerce website, so like Amazon or I don't know, like Alibaba, for example, and you want to search, like you want to see if the search function is working, like if it don't take 20 seconds to load, you can create a CSV file with, I don't know, like the name of the project, the name of the category. And with the CSV file, you can, on Gatling, you can read the CSV file and just dynamically search the thing, typically.
Okay.
It permits to avoid like pushing like the category directly on the code.
There's a guy I know in Edinburgh who comes along to the Edinburgh JS meetups because he's sort of keen in the scene, and he basically loves XML. Like he wants to bring it back absolutely everywhere. And I guess in the Java world, it's never left, right? But he yeah, I cannot even tell you the things that he says about XML. Like I would be lucky if anybody said those things about me. Like it's it's good. Okay, so but that's great. But what I want to know is I want to be able to test. And so there's this check thing that's running in this example. So there's this check the status is 200. So can I do that? I basically want to do that for the content of the page, right? So I want to say something.
You just need to put it after like dot headers, for example.
Okay,
no,
so
not on the wall request. Is one by request.
Okay, so I'm going to check that.
And you can check a lot of things. Typically, you can check the status code. You can check a string
Body.
inside your stuff. You can check whatever you want.
Okay, and presumably it looks like this is an import. So like CSS here. So that's interesting. Okay, so basically I want to pull in, CSS is coming in from core. I'm guessing this is going to give me some autocomplete. I want like a string body. Is that going to do what I want? Like if I pass that in, so this is another case where the documentation would be useful. So if I check string body,
So what do you want? What do you want to check?
I want to check that there's a string in the HTML that's returned. So I have this.
So it's dot
thing.
check. Wait, let me remember. It's string. Body string. Wait.
Body string. Body string.
Yeah, body string.
Okay. Contain. Oh, is nice. I've got some stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and you can say like is if you want to do it, or contain or stuff like this. But wait for is because is like full match.
Okay, so anywhere would match. I don't want to say that it.
No. If you want anywhere, it's contain.
Contain. Okay, I don't see contain. I've got find maybe exists.
Wait, why do you not?
There's no contain, but there is find.
Wait, you want to check? You want to check if inside the response body text you have a substring, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you just need to use substring instead of body string.
Oh, cool. Substring.
And inside of it you put the substring you want.
Okay. So.
Don't need the is not.
Great. Okay, so we want to check, because if it's not there, then I'm getting an error page. I'm getting Cloudflare saying you are hitting this too many times, you're rate limited or something like that. Okay, so
you can also, like, if you want to say if you are not rate limited, yeah, you can check the substring. You can also check the status code typically, because when you are rate limited, I think it's like 429, I think.
So yeah, and sometimes you might get a header, but I mean, this isn't behind Cloudflare as it happens. But if I hit page speed dev row.dev, like my website, then also we don't want to just get the homepage. We also want to get so like we can come up with a more complex scenario here. Like I want to go to the site, I want to fill in a thing, and I want to click search, right? So we have a whole client side interaction. Is what I
Yeah,
would.
so it's typically the computer database simulation that you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And also that took a while, which I guess is because it's running the test. So I cache it, so it should then be faster for subsequent requests. And the headers that are coming back, let's see if there are any special headers. Oh, we want X powered by nuxt to be there. I guess that indicates that it was, and it is behind Cloudflare. But we want X powered by nuxt to be present. So I could check that, right? Check headers, header, X powered by is nuxt or something. See, I am already on top of this. Okay, so that all, like this is just checking it's a valid request. And then I think I want to do some a little bit more specific stuff. So I want to go there, pause. Oh, this is like multiple things, right? So
yeah, it's because normally, like when you do, like normally you don't really, like for example, the second HTTP request don't really give like information, because it's just to get like your JavaScript file, which is like Dembo and stuff like this. Normally you don't really want to like load test the CSS or the web manifest normally.
Yeah, no, that is true. And I'm guessing this is going to download normally anyway. If I pause for a second, right?
So when you go on HTTP request, typically it will be like it will run your website as somebody going into it.
Yeah. So in other words, it would download the JavaScript for the site.
Yeah. You will have the JavaScript code and etc.
Okay. So I'll pause for a second. Then I will. What is? Oh, that's going to pick.
So for a feeder, it's typically like the CSV files that I have shown to you.
Yeah.
Is if you want to get like dynamic value, in order to use it on Gatling, you need to import it with the CSV file, like the feeder.
Oh, I see.
But it's not it's not needed by everybody. But if you need it, you need to you can do it. Like if you need to, I don't know. Like for example, you have like I don't know, like not a login page, but a newsletter website, and you want to check if it's good. You have like I don't know, like you need to enter name, address, etc. Instead of coding the value on the code, you just create a CSV file and import it with Gatling.
Okay, and then each line in it is a valid. There's a header, and then after that, each line is a valid.
So typically, you have a header, and when you want to, when you want that Gatling select a value for you, you just give the name of the column, for example.
Okay, so I have two.
Yeah.
I have two there, and so I'll do. I'll pull in the feeder, I guess.
Yeah, so you need to import it.
And I'll stick that. Do I have a setup function? Oh, interesting. Oh, so this is a little bit different. This is actually defining the. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so we have a feeder.
It's because you create a scenario directly, and on the other one, first we create some HTTP request, and after we create the scenario. Yeah. You have two ways of doing it.
So I'm just going to pop all of this in here. So presumably that should be fine. We drop the set of headers, and honestly, probably a lot of these headers we don't care about.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't need them actually at all.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the recorder take all the requests, so it will give you all the headers.
Yeah. So and I'll drop that. I'll keep the user agent. Maybe. Well, I don't really need them, I guess. Okay. Or would you recommend that we have some headers, or?
I would say like do have like the essential headers first for the HTTP protocol, and if one page, I don't know, like change headers, or you need a special headers for one HTTP request, yeah, put
Then
it in the
add them.
HTTP request.
Okay. So we have then we pull in the text. So this is just going to grab me. Oops. This is
Yeah,
going to
but you
grab.
need to. It's not a good place for yeah. Normally, like it's a good place, but normally wait, because you want to if you will show your code, you want to use it on the HTTP before or after the one, like the feeder.
After. What I want to do is
Okay, so it's good.
basically, I'm getting the home page, and then I'm going to, if I want to type in this string here. So I want to grab this this element, the
Yeah,
input,
but you will need like yeah to.
and so we have a form example here. It looks like we are.
You it will be maybe more the edit for the post.
But I want to test client side only. I don't want to make a post request.
Yeah, but if typically if you search for something, you make a post request on the website.
But in my case, I'm doing it in client-side JavaScript. So if you have a look at the network request here, and I basically type in my domain and I click see results, it performs some HTTP requests. So it's telling me like it hits this endpoint and then it hits that endpoint and the raw data comes back and then the JavaScript renders it for me in the page. Is that something I can do, or is this more? That's why I was asking about whether the JavaScript would be loaded or not. But if not,
The
that's
thing
also
is more is more that I never do it, but I don't think you can click on the button with Gatling.
okay. I see what you mean. Okay, well that's
Like
fine.
not interacting with the page.
So we'll just basically say homepage, because basically the same stuff would happen if I hit the like a domain. So if I want to grab one of those domains and then use it in the request. So if I do basically like, how would I pull it in? I want like feeder, and then can I then make a request based on that, or?
Let me check what you want to do.
I basically, so I'm going to get a domain name, and I want that domain name basically to be here.
Oh, okay. So if you check the computer database, because I will. So did you open it first? Like, did you import it, the feeder, like the CSV file, just to be
It's
sure that
defined
you.
here. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it has the random.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
guess I have the
Yeah,
same.
or
I have it here.
okay.
So I'm
Random is just that for each person, like for each virtual user, so one at a time, it will just take a random line.
yeah.
You don't need that. It's not because you have 10 users that you need 10 lines. Just pick a random one like this.
So
But I would say so. Did you see like the pay like just below, like the get slash computer slash something?
so oh, is this it? Ah, I see. So this thing is the
Yeah,
from the feeder
with the JS, yeah, with the hashtag.
with a hashtag. Okay, so basically I would say
So the thing is, Gatling has something called session, which is typically first the session is independent between each virtual user. So for example, the first user will not can't impact the session of the second one,
yeah,
and it permits you to save data. So for example, I don't know, like I want to load test an application. My first request is going into to get a API token. I
yeah,
will get API token into a session. So it's just like I don't know, like to be simple, it's mostly a dictionary when you have like key value and you can use it. And the
yeah,
thing with feeder is when you use a feeder and you want to like get a value on it, uh, you just get the name of the column, and Gatling will do the conversion by giving you a value.
okay.
So now you just need to say like, yeah, domain.
Okay, so that's going to pull it. So this is going to basically do a couple of things. And basically after I call feed, then everything with that hash and this param will be the same row of the feeder.
So when you use a feeder, like because the thing is Gatling session is not directly linked to the feeder. First you have
Yeah,
the Gatling session, which also you can call with like the domain thing,
yeah.
like the domain stuff, and when you import a feeder, we take the column name and we put it into the session. So it's
Okay.
for this that you can do this.
Oh, I see, I see. But if I were to then call it a second time, like down here, it
You
would then
can call
add
it.
another, it would like overwrite it with a fresh item from the CSV.
So if you, it's depend
Or
because it's
I,
depend of which one you use.
yeah, yeah. I guess the point here is this is like when I run this at this point.
Because you can use the two feeder if you want on the same
Hmm,
HTTP request.
okay, I'd need to figure out like whether this is fixed at this moment in time, like at this line of code, or whether
It's
it happens down here instead.
no. So first, what we do, like when you run simulation, when you go on csv.random, so Gatling with opens the CSV file,
Yeah,
taking one line, so the value,
yeah,
and when you see like domain, it will just
yeah,
modify by the value. But
yeah,
this is you do this for every user, so
yeah,
every user will do the same action.
yeah, yeah.
So maybe someone will have like I don't know, like google.com, another user will have Facebook or stuff like this.
That's so this random is yeah, it's a builder. Yeah, okay. So basically it's
Yeah,
just going to perform a builder action. It doesn't do it at that time, a random action, but it doesn't do it at that time. It does it when you call it at this time.
it just select a random line and at the
Okay, great. It makes sense, I think. And then I could call this like again and get a fresh value and so on. Okay, let's see whether this works. And so now this is going to have double the number of requests because it's going to do two different things rather than just one. And Dominic, hey, welcome. Two people. You're saying we have 10, or you're thinking we should do more.
it's as you wish.
Okay.
You like on the open source version, the only limit, even of Gatling Enterprise, the only limit, Gatling Enterprise is typically
I
you
want to
will
see that
need
as
like
well,
to,
but
to pay, but on open source, the only limit, it's first when you get banned, but the other limit is your computer.
yeah,
So you can do 10, you can do 1 million, you can do 100.
we're not going to do 100. I would definitely get banned, and
Now
that would.
maybe no, I think maybe with Azure you will like not get banned, but maybe you will get like a slowdown.
Interesting.
If
Okay.
I think maybe with Azure, maybe Azure will say like at first they will not ban you, but maybe say we're
Yeah.
not giving like the whole bandwidth for him.
Actually, it looks like my assertion here that the header x powered by should be nuxt. Oh, is that? Why is that not the case? So let's see. I'm hitting. Let's see if I hit the homepage. I might not have that header on the homepage. I might. Yeah, I only have that because the homepage is pre-rendered. So basically, that assertion
Oh,
isn't going to be true for the homepage because that is static, and it won't be true, I guess, for the. Oh, interesting. The JavaScript still. I really hope the
hmm.
JavaScript is static as well, but so we don't.
Yeah, but as you see that like it give you directly on the terminal that he has an error because the check didn't work, and also normally if you open like the report, it will tell you that the check didn't.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you have
we've
a red line.
got some errors here. So it didn't find that, which I guess could be like a problem. In this case, I wrote the test wrong because it doesn't
And you have
exist.
some you have some fail request also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is not ideal. So okay, what is it telling me? Uh, now, I mean, I think a lot of those are failed. Like, are they failed requests because it didn't find the header, or are they failed requests? Yeah, 10 because 10 of them didn't find the header. That's why.
Can you go into details
Yeah.
just to?
I don't think any requests actually failed. I think what happened is they just didn't have this header, which is so basically
Oh yeah.
this request shouldn't have the header. This one should. So let's try that again
Yeah.
and see if Angelo, nice to see you. Um, this is Dominic. This is Gatling, and they have an open source tool for load testing. They also have a cloud platform, which I want to see it in a second. Okay, so nothing failed now, but we did have some that were very slow. Now I just updated.
Maybe Azure tried to like weight limit you.
Maybe, but I think also the thing is that this performs requests to Google PageSpeed Insights, which can be a very, very slow API.
Yeah. But
Now,
you can check.
I did just update all the dependencies last night before going to bed, so it's possible that there is a regression. Because I
But you
wouldn't.
can go to details if you want.
Okay, details, and I have.
Oh, I see. Because you do everything on the same. Yeah. Yeah. The problem is you do everything in the same thing. So
The caching
you will
doesn't.
not have. No. The caching don't work. Like
Yeah.
never load test when you use cache. Like deactivate cache when you do load testing.
Well, the caching that I'm talking about is server-side caching. So it's not at the CDN layer or anything like that. It's caching the response from. So what I should be doing is caching the response from Google PageSpeed Insights, and I should cache it for a day. So it shouldn't be like load testing should be as long as it's warmed up. So that basically I would say I should like hit because it's still doing a server-side request, but it's fetching the data from from blob storage in Azure, where the response from Google is stored. So it's still something that we need to should have a good response. It's not pure cache. It's not like fully saved. So this is basically flagging up an issue, I think. Like these numbers are too slow. So that the homepage.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this is ridiculous. The homepage is static. So the homepage should not make any difference here. But the mean is 2 seconds? That can't be right.
I think it's because it's because of how you implement the your scenarios. It takes the home page and the second URL. So it's kind of the two.
Okay.
Wait, no. Oh yeah, it's because you call the two home page.
So basically, what I should say is
you can keep it. You can keep it like this. It's only on HTTP. You call them the two home page on HTTP.
I see. Okay. Domain search, and we'll call this.
This one you can let it like yeah.
Okay. Doesn't really matter. I think the scenario, right? I guess because I only have one scenario.
Yeah.
So this is visitor. Right. Run it again.
And now you will see. You will have more of the details.
More exactly, because it won't just be. It will be. I'll
because
see very clear what is taking the time. Now, I mean, the thing is, I think this is taking too long. So if I hit this, if I were to just time that request, that should be pretty instant. It is pretty quick, but I think it could be faster because this is being cached, so it shouldn't take very long, but it is.
When you load test, you need to don't be cache, because like when a new user will come to your website, you will not have cache typically. So
but I will, because I cache it for an entire day. So it's not.
Yeah, but if I come, like if a new one come and give you a new domain that you never check.
Which is true. Like, but there's nothing I can do about that. That's an external API that I do not control. So this like page speed is a lot faster than the alternatives because it does cache but I can't do anything about the external
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
API.
yeah.
Okay, so this is giving me a very different
Uh,
picture
and now if
now.
you go to details, you will see which one is.
And actually, I think I'm even seeing them here. I don't know what difference
Oh
there
yeah,
is for details, but
it's you have this instead of having like if you go down on global, you
global.
here yeah
Yeah,
global on the left. Here
exactly.
you have like if yeah here you have the request, but if you go down you have like some graphic for all the requests. If you go into details, you have the same graphics but for every request.
I see.
So for example, in details, it's like for the home page is pretty good, and for the I think it's domain search, it was like not
Yeah.
really good.
No, exactly. I mean, it is faster now, because no, it's not good at all. That's like 4 seconds. Wait, or 20 seconds? Is it saying that one of those requests was 20 seconds long?
Can you go on on details and domain? One is taking more than 2 seconds, I think. Like it's not 20. It was
Oh,
not like
it's
22 seconds.
milliseconds.
It's
Okay.
millisecond. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah.
That's a lot
22
better.
seconds. You will you will still doing simulation. 22
So, but like this is 19,000. So, if that's
milliseconds.
milliseconds, that's still 19 seconds. Or maybe that's just my computer, because like I mean, this shouldn't be taking 20 seconds. Like it's clearly not
No,
that bad.
20, 20 seconds is pretty long. 20.
It's long. Yeah, it's very long. But I mean, maybe that was one of the ones that it's strange. I think I'm going to have to look at my setup. Um, or this is interesting. So this is basically looking at response time percentiles over time, and it's saying that um, basically it's taking a lot longer. Yeah, so the 20-second one was at the ramp up. So it starts off quite fast on the domain search. Well, not that quite very fast. It's still a second.
Yeah. Also, remember that since a domain search is like 1 second, remember that also you have like now 10 users doing the search thing at the same kind of the same time also
Yeah.
on your website.
Dominic, it is an open source tool, the thing that I'm using, but they have a paid offering, which I think is probably what people would want to use, because it's typically you don't want to be running load testing on your computer. And just for the people who haven't had it, Gatling is sponsoring this, which is very kind of them. It's the first sponsored video I've done, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm quite enjoying it. But yeah, just to let you know. Okay, so
But also like if just to jump in on the Gatling Enterprise, also if you want to integrate this like with CI/CD, Slack, etc., it's on Gatling Enterprise
okay,
instead of doing every time on the computer.
okay. This is the actual link, everybody. So we're gonna like or actually if you run in your terminal, this, I guess I'll give you a curl command.
I will say for Devon, if you want to load test the website of Daniel, ask him before.
Okay. No. Everyone is going to do it by just like typing this in their terminal rather than like it's not going to be a serious load test. But I want to see what your time is. Okay, everybody do that, and let me know what the actual time is. Oh no, the command is being no. I've pasted it in chat.
You can
But
also download Gatling and load test like this.
you're welcome to do that, but you may be banned by Azure. I don't know about that.
But
So
you will. Oh yes, I will. Yeah, but it's not really the website.
it's not. What do you mean?
It's your website. If
It's true.
yeah,
It's
yeah, it's the IP. Yeah.
okay. So that's the command. You can all do that and tell me what it is, and we can do it in like one. Well, anyway, we can do it in a second. I do use a camera, and I'm pretty sure that's also on.
I got 99 seconds.
Okay,
I got 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
No. I just like just checking with you.
Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, let's load test my website. 3 minutes later, a response.
True.
That would be
No,
horrifying.
I think I will. Let me check. But I think I will just get like something like purely.
So 2.5 seconds total for De Vandenbergen.
Mm,
And Broker, good to see you. That's quite
maybe
slow.
my
I
maybe my
think
computer is.
no. This is there's an issue with caching. I think probably I redeployed last night, bumped the dependencies, and I didn't check that the caching was working, which I really probably should have done before load testing it today. So
Yeah, I got this. I got kind of the same thing. At the first time, I got kind of the same thing as like Fry. It was like 12 seconds, like 12, 11. The
ouch.
first time, like without cache.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So we're
But
gonna have to fix this.
after cache is like 2 seconds, and the last one, like if I redo it, I think it was like 0.3 0.3 seconds.
I'm not
So it's
liking
kind
this.
of good when it cache. Without cache is pretty bad.
Well, it should cache for a day. Like, so there should be no scenario when it is doing 20 seconds. So we should have like this domain thing here. And this should cache it for, I see I have stale max age and max age. But then within it, oh no.
What did you do?
That's not right, is it? I should be setting. I mean, that still would be an hour, right? So 60 by 60 is an hour. So
Yeah.
I guess I should set it to a day.
Yeah, so it's good. 60 by 60 by 24. No, mathematically, it's 1 day. 1 day.
Yeah. So why would this not be caching? Well, I mean, actually, let's just see, because maybe that API is caching. Okay, let's try this. So we have API crux pro.dev. And we'll actually see the response. So the timestamp is 352. Okay, so the content is cached, and this is a lot faster. So this is coming in at 500 milliseconds total for the response of the API call. This is the other thing that I guess the hard reload is not what people are experiencing. People are experiencing typing it in and doing an API call on the client, which is that shorter number. So like that is always going to be faster. Like that is much faster than doing a hard reload. So I guess the issue is that when we are doing our hard reload for the site, these two requests are happening, and I guess they aren't cached. So that's probably the thing. And because I'm relying on the cache, I actually run them in parallel. I mean, I don't run them in parallel. I actually run them sequentially, which is super problematic. So I think an easy fix.
Are you sure you want to run HR sequentially? Or you want to run it sequentially, like every time somebody is like going to your website?
Well, most users shouldn't encounter that. So sorry, what do you mean? What's the?
When you said like sequentially and parallel, you were talking about like if somebody tried to see the speed of a website, or it was other stuff.
Basically, in order to load the page, I perform 2 network requests, and those network requests are run sequentially. but I'm on the server. But I'm changing that now so they run in parallel, which should be
Okay.
an immediate performance boost as long as it works.
Plus 20% of performance boosted.
Well, most of the time when people have performance issues, it's because of network requests. Like the actual, like if you drop the network request and perform like load testing, and it's just rendering HTML, it's so much faster. Obviously, any round trip adds to it. In this case, we're doing two, whereas we can do them at the same time. So I think that should speed up by 50%. Okay, now tell me how I'm going to deploy this. If I want this on a cloud, yes, Dominic, pre-rendered is SSG. And Bubby is right, by the way. Multiple requests can happen before it's cached, and in some cases, depending on where the cache is stored, like on Vercel or Netlify, they sometimes cache them in regional places. So you might have hit a cache if you're in London, but not hit the same cache if you're in France. So that's obviously an extra thing. Okay, so what am I doing now? I am wanting to deploy this. Right, so there's this Gatling Cloud thing, and you gave me some credits for it, Samir.
Yeah.
So what do I do? How do I run load testing in CI?
So first, you need to package your simulation with just npx gatling enterprise package. Normally, you have the
Gatling
gatling package enterprise with a not a dash.
like that?
No, you have like package enterprise package. And and if dash, sorry. It's enterprise dash package.
That.
Yeah, dash. Yeah.
Okay.
And now you have a target. Like if you go on the folder target.
Yeah. Yep, I see. I've got some stuff there, and it's packaged up, presumably.
Yeah, so you have a package. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a package.zip something like you have a zip file normally on target. Okay, so now you can go on like Gatling Cloud typically.
Okay, I'm here.
So now, if you click on the menu on the top left, you will have package. You will have package, and now you need to create a new one. Typically,
Okay.
you're giving a name, testing, or whatever you want. Default, and here you put the file you create, like the package you create just before. So I don't know why you put it, but
oh. Okay.
Okay, and now you just need to go like on the top left and go into simulation. It's and you say create a new one with the package, because on Gatling Enterprise you have two ways of creating one with a package, the one that you have, or one with a no code interface. Typically it's HTTP. You say the URL of the HTTP of your application, you say the headers, etc., and Gatling create for you the simulation. And here, what is good also with Gatling Enterprise is you can you can add this if you want, but they need to be like one at the end, like because you can add like, for example, load generator. You can add a new location if you click on add a new location, and you can say I want some people from Paris or from North Virginia. And if you click on weight distribution, you can say I want like 50 people.
Okay. So more
It's
of them
by percentage. Yeah, it's more by percentage. So you want 60 people and 30 people.
Okay.
And after you can say like save and launch.
What is number of load generators?
If you want like multiple, normally you just need one for 60 people. If you want like I would say like imagine a load generator will be a server and typically how much server you want for generating your user. And now you can just launch a simulation.
Okay. Save and launch.
And
And
now you
this is
just need to
basically
wait.
running the same thing that it would do on my local computer, except across different servers in different places.
Yeah, and you don't need to maintain the server because it's Gatling who maintains the server. So you don't need to say, oh, I need to, I don't know, like to launch up a EC2 machine on AWS and the machine will generate user. It directly Gatling will. So you have two ways. You are, because I know that some company like don't want to share the data. For example, you have two ways. For load generator, you can use the one from Gatling. So Gatling will generate the user for you, or you can use on Gatling Cloud. You can use private location, and private location is typically your company will provide their own load generators. Sometimes
Yeah.
it happens because they don't want to share data or they're like closed models sometimes. And you can like say, I have, I don't know, like next company have already three load generator and they want to use them and not the one of Gatling, for example.
Okay.
And now you
And
just need to wait.
so I'm interested basically in this as code, because that's something you said at the beginning, that this is infrastructure. This is, as code, so I can write my simulation in my repo. So presumably in CI/CD, I would deploy it to Gatling Cloud, like update the version of it.
So if you click on the while we wait for this to finish, if you click on the top left and you have integration at the below, yeah. So typically, if you go down a little, we have a lot of integration with GitHub Action, GitLab CI, etc. And what it does, so the GitHub Action, typically first you need to go on Gatling Cloud, like push your package, create a simulation, because
And then
after when you create a simulation, you got a simulation ID.
yeah, and then
And
it will update that simulation ID from the workflow.
so what you will do, it's like it will get your like on your CI/CD. Typically, you will have a lot of job. You will have like I don't know, like functional testing, etc. And with the GitHub Action, it will take your code and send a request to Gatling Enterprise to run a new simulation and get the data
Yeah,
to see like maybe you have an issue. Because the thing also with Gatling is you have check. So check it to testing the website, like your website, and you have a session. A session is mostly to test your load test.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not really test your test, but it's more like, for example, you want to see if, like, I don't know, like you want, maybe you have some requirements that you want, like, for all requests, the response time is less than 2 seconds. You can directly add it inside Gatling code.
okay,
And for example, like if you run it on your computer and one session failed, Gatling will send you like a, it will send you a status code which is like -1 on the terminal. So it will see that you have an error.
yeah,
And also on the report. It's kind of like if you want to test, I don't know, like the response time range, if it's less for all the requests than 2 seconds, if you are like the number of fail requests typically. So here it's more like you need to click on one simulation.
yeah. But I
At
guess
the top.
over time, this is going to show me how my site is
Yeah.
performing.
Yeah, maybe. I hope it will increase. Or you can follow this guy too if you want. No,
Exactly.
but here you have a summary. So here it's not a whole report. It's mostly a summary. Like if you want, I don't know, to show it to some like no technical person or people we don't really like love, like I don't know, like project manager, project owner, or like C level. You can show directly the summary. You either will get all the information, and if you want the whole report, you have the report at the next, like
Yeah.
just after summary. But now I don't. What is max stuff?
I don't even want to look at it. I do not even want to look at it. So basically, um, okay, request timeline, response per second.
This one is mostly like the request that people do. So it's normal that at the end
Yeah, it's tailing off.
you have
But
no
like P95 is 7 seconds. That is not great, right?
seven.
How is that possible? Like, no, because
Okay,
I must have basically destroyed this when I redeployed it last night. but I did not think it was that slow at all. Like I was under the impression that this was a reasonably fast website. Okay,
But
so
can you just show the report? Because yeah, 7 seconds show like it's really like the report, not the summary directly.
oh, yeah, the report. Here we are. Table.
But who is
Outgoing
that? Like seven?
response time. Uh,
Yeah, can you go on maximum? Like Edge.
Maximum
Yeah,
is
it's 3
13
sec.
seconds.
Oh,
And that,
okay, and it's
but that
because of the domain.
it's the domain search. It's 13 seconds. The other is 350 milliseconds.
Yeah. Also remember that you took. I don't know where your Azure is hosted, but remember that also you take people from Dublin and North California.
Yeah. Can I see the difference? Like, is there a way to see, like, we have these two different locations. Can I compare them or?
Right now I don't really know, so I need to check. But right now I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can get the stats by the load generator.
Yeah.
But it's on the. It will be like just made after, like I did after.
Yeah. Okay, I see. This is very
But
helpful.
for some people, it's it's a long time to wait to get the data.
Yeah, that's a very long time to wait. I mean, I haven't ever experienced that. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah, but it's kind of the same thing as Docker. It's not because on your computer it's like 2 seconds. That for everybody is 2 seconds.
hmm okay, I am going away with some like steps to improve here. I did not expect this, but we definitely need to make this better and faster. It should be a little bit better now. I've hit the we're doing stuff in parallel, but honestly, it shouldn't be doing stuff in parallel. It should be
But if
cached.
you want, you can retry one. If you want to see if you are like on Gatling Enterprise, you can relay into simulation.
I think I need to do a little bit more. Like I need to do some caching. So here, the thing is, we
But
should be able to cache the. Um,
but for example, like when you do your new modification, instead of relaunching every time in Gatling Enterprise, you should use the Gatling action, like the GitHub action.
yeah. Yes. No, I should. Now, see, I have SWR enabled. So what I'm wondering is why is that not
Why
the
it's slow?
case? Well, no, because it should be. It should be serving pages with SWR. Like it should be at the very least being
But
very fast.
can it be just Azure doing something?
Yeah, it could be. It could be. You're right. And it would be
You can
nice at some
maybe
point
check your Azure contract or your email. Maybe I just tell you that.
to to be fair to Azure, this is a free static web apps app. So it costs me. I think I think I might pay something like 10 pence, 10 pence, like 15 cents a month for this. So like this is not a high
Yeah, it's nothing.
cost thing. So it's totally possible that they're throttling um, the high, uh, yeah,
It's maybe that where they put you also can be like in because yeah, you are not on a single server. You are not like you are not the only one on the server, so maybe it can be linked also to this
yeah,
because you're on a distributed server. Like you are on the server, you have like your website and a lot of other websites, so it can be linked to this.
it can be. So to Vandenbergen, oh, and Bruno, hello. Sorry. Uh, the SWR key is a shortcut for enabling a number of other things. So if in here SWR is true, then it basically sets cache SWR to be true, and also well, I mean, yeah, sorry, that's what it does. So it's basically a shortcut. So if you set cached STR, it's the same thing. But you can also, if you have a number, set the max age to that number. So this is effectively the same as saying SWR is 60. So like it's the same it's the same equivalent thing. The cache is set false in the non-production part in order to I think in order to avoid caching when I'm developing locally. But you're right. Maybe it's overriding it in some way. So maybe if I just set SWR true to prevent. Yeah, maybe just let's fully. Oh, no, that's because I don't want to cache. Sorry, I don't want to cache the API routes. They have their own caching. So within the API route, we have this caching applied. So I don't cache it with a root rule. I cache it here. And I want this to apply to like the HTML rather than the APIs. So it has basically some overlapping rules. So yes, the API routes are not intended to be cached via root rule because they are cached via a cached event handler.
Yeah, but if you double cache,
exactly,
maybe it will be more faster.
So exactly, I'm not double caching it. So caching it is problematic because if you cache, yeah, if you cache something and then you cache that thing, you're effectively you can like double the length of the cache. Like they can add because if you're caching your API, then and then you're caching the page that fetches your API, then if you fetch an HTML page right at the end of the cache lifespan of the API, then effectively you lengthen it by a whole nother length of time. So we had this at some point with the nuxt cache, that we had to wait not just for the website cache to be invalidated, but you also had to wait then for the API cache to be invalidated. So it could take a very long time to, like, for the updated data to percolate its way through. But these things are often worth it for performance benefit, right? But okay, I would be very interested. Okay, this is going a lot faster, or it was going a lot faster now. This is not as good as gatling, but I'm just like, I want to see. These are better numbers. Okay, I think they're better numbers. But I do think there is maybe an issue with the.
Are you sure that it's really like you can relaunch a new simulation if you want on Gatling Enterprise?
So the root rules apply with I think with sort of specificity. So the height is not like, it doesn't matter that this is coming afterwards. This basically in production is the same thing as that, and the order doesn't matter. So what should happen is that the whoa, Luke, that's very fast. So the order doesn't matter here. That these things are applied
Bobby,
in a
for Bobby, it seems slower. For Bobby,
it's slower.
For Bobby, it's slower.
But Luke, it's instantaneous. So the I think you might need to try a couple of times. And Luke, like 0.008, that's basically mined. That's like there's a network error somehow. I don't feel that should be possible.
It takes some time. It's not really fast like you, like on your terminal. Like it's still computing on my, like if I put time curl, HTTP, PySpeed, raw.dev. Yeah, it's take.
And you are hitting it.
I will not say. It's 19 seconds.
19 seconds?
Like
Unbelievable.
19.820.
Like, I mean, what connection you're on shouldn't be the issue. Like, this is crazy.
Oh, okay. But when I read a second time, it's 0.3.
Yeah.
So it's only the first, which is like oh wait. So it's like weird because it's like one request long, two requests fast, one request long, and two requests fast.
So I mean, here I am. I'm getting sort of 500 milliseconds. Like this is, and that's
and one time it's long. Yeah, I explained the same thing.
So that can't be what's happening like in the endpoint. This has got to be yeah.
Wait, on the API of you use the API of Google, right?
Yes, but I'm not hitting it.
The
This is all cached.
okay.
Like the API response from Google is
Ah, yeah.
cached. None of this should be making a fresh request. And you can see that
Okay.
if you hit this endpoint, the Crux API. So like this is taking a long time, but the timestamp of the response when it
Yeah,
actually
because
comes back, like because this is now to be fair, one of the things that might be causing this is that we're storing this in blob storage. In so like the fetching
can it be
the cache
because
data from blob storage might be taking the time, right?
can
So
can it be because we do all the thing at the same time? Like you have your chat and you and me on the same thing.
that really like it shouldn't make a difference, right? So if
Yeah, yeah,
if,
yeah.
if we just check the date this is cached, this was cached today at 3:10. So probably
No,
when we
but
started, like that was the first request, and then it
the
fetched the
way
data from Google.
because right now it's good. Like I don't have I have only 0.3, 0.2.
Oh, sorry, this is a different URL. So if you hit this endpoint,
Oh, this
which
one.
is, I'll paste it in. So this is the API. But yes, this is why we're getting that max. And so I don't know, but like basically this is really helpful because otherwise I would not even have been looking at this. But so basically that sort of everything's very fast and then one that is really very
No,
slow. And I
this
would,
one is fast.
because this is the API like this should be the behavior of the whole site.
Yeah, me I only have like 0.2 seconds.
So we have max
Maybe
age.
you can load test. You can load test your API.
Yeah. Um, it's weird for sure, but I wouldn't rule out the idea that it is some kind of protection from Azure, that they're maybe wanting somehow to sort of throttle some of the requests. Like it's possible, right? I can bump max age and stale max age to the how long are my credits going to last, Samir? Like when you have credits on Gatling Enterprise, like how long does that last?
It's
Like
it's when you when you have credit, you have credit for you if you don't choose the credit, you have it for like I don't know, like not 2 or 3 years, but you have like for until
okay,
until your account is like you block your account, not blocking, but when when you have credit,
yeah,
you have credit for lifetime. But if you finish your credit, I mean you need to we have like multiple plans for credit. And for enterprise we can like if you're an enterprise you can say like I need to test this and this. So I
yeah.
don't know, like this API, this website, this thing. And we just after with the sales people at Gatling, we create directly like you would say like we will say that you need I don't know like 100 credit directly each month, etc.
Okay, so I'll
But yeah,
have
you don't lose
my team will have a conversation with your team.
at the end of the month you will not lose a credit, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Luke says it might be the CPU of the box. Although I think we're not doing proper load test. Like at the moment, we're doing like 20, like 10 requests at the same time. That's not a lot of requests at the same time.
Yeah, but like Luke is saying, like doing with time curl is like console.log of load testing.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely right. But it's still it gives you an indication, right? The fact that this happens, you can't see it. The fact that this happens.
Yeah, but the main issue is not really that it happened. It's like it's one issue that it happened, but the real issue is like sometimes the same request is like taking 0.9, and like
Yeah.
you wait 2 seconds, it's like taking 20 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That is definitely. This is definitely something I'm going to have to investigate at probably some length. Okay. So, and I'm probably actually, this would be really useful to run on a preview deployment, wouldn't it? So, like, if every PR I push up to try and fix it does a little load test and sees how it responds, that would be very useful.
Yeah, you have it. Like you just need to use a GitHub action of a
Yeah,
Gatling.
I'll do
It's
that.
mostly like we give you like on the documentation if you want, if you want to read it. You are totally free to not read it, but you have like the documentation with for the GitHub action, and typically it's mostly, yeah, you just need to add the secret, which is like your API key to
Yeah,
for Gatling to know like who are you, and the simulation ID.
this
And
does
each
look.
time you do, yeah, and you will just need to change the, yeah, it's good on push. Yeah, you just need on the GitHub action to put like on push when you push on branch, for example.
I'm gonna, yeah, Bobby. I'm gonna spill those credit. I'm gonna like that. Those 500 credits should be good enough to figure out this issue and
But
fix it. Like,
you can buy other credit if you want.
I can. I know who to come to, Samir. Okay, okay. This is really helpful. This is really helpful. And I'm not kidding. Like, it's very very useful. Uh, thank you, thank you very much. I think we are sort of we've been going for a little while. Is there anything more I need to know, or GitHub Actions? I need to create a workflow for that and get it up and going. Exactly. That's right.
Yeah, you...
When I need more credits, Bobby, we're going to be having another load testing stream. We'll be like, why are we having this stream? I've run out of credits for. I need to do more load testing.
Yeah, when you will see me on this slide, because it was like 0 credit, he come to me saying, "Oh, I need some."
The first ones are free, and then like that's always the way, isn't it? Then I discover how useful it is, and um,
Yeah, you have some, but like I also added you some credit thing.
have you? Okay.
Yeah.
You're very kind. Okay.
But I don't with CI. I think you are good, mate. Like for 1 or 2, it depends of how much you commit by day, but I think for 1 or 2 months you are pretty good.
I'm pretty good. Well, that test used 2 credits, and those were the 2 different locations, I think. So, no, I think the open source version is free because it's basically running on your own computer or your own
Yeah.
hardware. I guess you could
No,
also
no.
run the open source version in GitHub Actions, but I'm not sure how GitHub Actions would like you running load testing
Oh,
from there or their CI/CD.
so yeah, yeah. So the thing is, yeah, open source version you don't need credit because you use your computer. But like Daniel said, if you want to put it on GitHub Action, it will be like pretty hard because you will use like the server or GitHub. But I think like GitHub would just say I think GitHub will maybe either will not ban you, but maybe either will remove the repository or say calm down or.
Yes, something like that.
But yeah. If you want to have like Gatling on the CI, the easy way and the recommended way is to use Gatling Enterprise.
Okay.
And yeah, you will need credit if you want to have it on CI.
Okay. Um, I will set that up. I won't make everybody watch that, but I will set it up because I do want to fix this, and it's a little bit embarrassing. So please, no one report that.
No. I will never report that. Don't worry. It's just between the two of us.
Okay. So this I would consider this to be a kind of test. So I think I might put this in a test folder. This
So
gatling.
load testing is linked to performance testing. If
Yeah.
you want to.
So maybe a test gatling directory.
Yeah.
And then, oops. Can I rename it? Why not?
So wait, like gatling runner, no? Yeah, but for for the one like if you go like getting a server in order to run a gatling runner, like a gatling load generator, in order to create like the CI/CD,
Go on.
like Devon wanted like to not really
Oh,
pay for the load generator, but to get his own GitHub runner in order to do the CI/CD stuff. But I would say like if you want like to do this to not pay, I think maybe like the most cheapest way is just like to buy Gatling, because here you will need to have a own server, adding a runner to get to GitHub, and create one, and still you don't have the like it like the request will only come from one location, because if you want another location, you will still need to buy another server.
okay. So
But
I need a
I will,
simulation ID.
it's just before, and you click on the three dots,
Ah,
and yeah.
cool. So I
And you
basically,
also need a secret after.
yes,
Wait, no, you need the. No, it's not at the package conf. It's on wait.
yeah. Oh, you say I don't need this folder at all. I just do it all in the workflow. Yeah,
Oh, the simulation ID you just need it on the workflow.
yeah, okay.
It's a workflow will, because the fact is when like the GitHub action will say to Gatling to run the simulation with the package you put.
Yeah,
The package you put before. If you update the package, you can deploy it with another command.
okay.
It will not
So,
like compile your code. It will just like get the simulation ID and launch one week, not one request. It will launch one simulation on Gatling. So the one that you create, I don't remember the name of it.
so I
The
want,
test.
I basically want to do this only once this has run. So like once the job is deployed, then
So
I want,
you just need to copy the action, the GitHub action from Gatling. We have
yeah.
like I think it's Gatling Enterprise action on the documentation, I think.
Yeah, I see it here, but basically I need to have a URL to hit. So,
No, you just need to have the simulation ID.
but I need to, it's a different URL, right? So if it's a pull request. Oh, so your point is like for a commit. But like for a pull request, like this, for example, if I have a pull request and I want to see how it's changed the performance, I
Oh,
want to run it against a different URL. So
yeah, but for this, if you change the URL on the simulation, you will need to do three things typically. You will need first to generate on the CI, first to generate a package
yeah,
on the simulation that doing a regex to change the URL of the simulation, upload it thanks to npm npx, and after launching the enterprise.
yeah,
It's like three things for a pull request, but it's not really yeah, it's not really a big thing. Like the on like for example the GitHub action, if you want like for a pull request, because the URL will change, is uh, but even for commit typically it can be the same for commit.
yeah,
So typically, like like your GitHub action will be running npm, npm install, like going into the Gatling folder, npm install, npm enterprise deploy,
yeah.
npm run Gatling enterprise deploy, and with this you don't need to with enterprise deploy, it's Gatling will send the package directly uh,
Oh, okay.
on the on the cloud.
That's even better. Uh, that's a better action. Like,
It's not
or
action. You will like the enterprise deploy. You will need to do it yourself, but it's
yeah.
just an npm command, so it's not really.
Okay, so that's very doable. So that just starts it. So basically, I could deploy it and then run this GitHub action just afterwards.
And after you have also a lot of parameter if you want to check it also.
Okay, cool. This is excellent. This really is really helpful, Samir. Thank you for popping into my stream and making this possible.
Just to answer like some question for Devon, if you infrastructure is not reachable from the web, you can also, it's like a one feature of Gatling, which is private location, and you can still use Gatling Enterprise, but using your own generator. Like it's one thing of Gatling, because sometimes, yeah, the infrastructure is not reachable for the web. If you want to use Gatling Enterprise, you can just like just need to go on the sales and say I want like a private location. So I want my load generator to be private, and they will do it for you. And this solve like the problem of only reachable from your company network.
Yeah. I imagine I might like there might be a way I can do this with at like trying to think about the preview deployments for Azure, because I get the result. So like here Azure has deployed is deploying my pull request. So basically when this is done, then I have at this point a URL, which is my preview URL, which I can use. And basically at this point, I should be able to then like update the Gatling source and build like a fresh package for this preview.
But if you want, also we have integration with Azure DevOps if you use it.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be a better way of doing it. Yeah, that might be a better way of doing that. Okay. Amazing. Thank you, Samir. This is really kind. And it's been a lot of fun. And this will hopefully get me improving the performance of page speed. Ironically,
yeah.
Right?
I hope in 1 month, like at the end of the month, I will never saw 20 seconds on your website.
Yep. I hope not. You will have to check back on that. Let's just run page speed on itself. No results could be fetched. Is it
page
valid?
speed?
That is horrific. Why is that?
Yeah. No, it was not pirate package for. So it was not pirate package. It was.
That was not the right site. Like here we go.
It's
okay. But this is Core Web Vitals. That's a different thing from like page loading performance. Okay.
And you have also a private package if you want them to have your simulation into your enterprise. So private package it will be more the combination of the two for Devon that will work. But if you want, we can also talk on LinkedIn. Like if you want to, you can just add me on LinkedIn and we can talk about it to see how it will work.
Okay. I don't think this will be relevant for me, but I imagine it might be quite relevant for.
So it's mostly when you don't want your code and etc. going outside of your company sometimes.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you again, Samir. This has been great. Anything more you want to say? Any last words or top tips, or do you have a website or anything that you want to share?
If you want, but it's Java. It's Java thing. No, but I have to think like it's Java thing. So no, but with Gatling, like on Java, you can also load test LLM API typically. And let me just find the link. I just need to find the link because we will do a webinar with like I think one. Let me find the URL.
Did you say an LLM?
Yeah, LLM API. Like if you go on the blog post of Gatling, yeah, I'll just type a Gatling LLM API. It's possible to do it. And also, I have something else. I just need. Yeah,
cool.
I have too much tab open. It's a nightmare. just let me up.
Luke, lovely to see you, and I will see you later.
Yeah, and also, yeah, see you. And also, we have like a webinar with Docker typically. Wait, it's let me. Yep, no, it's a wrong link. This link is better. Up. Yeah, no, it was a good one, but so this one will be like a live a webinar with Docker on 23rd, so like in 10 days, and it will be like a webinar with Docker and test container to like load test a web application into a Dockerized like a Docker application, just load test it. So maybe we can take like by speed, putting inside the container and load test it. But yeah, if you want to like if you want to subscribe directly, you can just go on Livestorm and take your spots.
Amazing. I might take you up on that with all of my new gatling expertise.
You can also register if you want, Daniel. You can register to watch a live, to watch a webinar with Docker.
Exactly. I think I can drop env into here, and I can pull off all of these. And okay, so I've integrated that into my existing deploy workflow, and I just need to make that depend on this. And I need a step to pull the output location from here. But leave that with me. That's on me. Sorry, I'm going to get totally distracted.
No problem.
Thank you so much for joining. And let's just see if there's anybody we can drop into onto a raid with. We have the Primogen. We also have Pirate Software. Not quite sure what that is. The Primogen, he's great, right? So we can do a quick raid of him. And Samir, you and I can disappear. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely evening. Let's see. Twitch.tv, Daniel Rowe.
See you. Yeah, see you when you will run out of credits.
Exactly. And
oh, you have a question from Leo.
Oh no, a question just as we're ending. I don't, Leo. I'm sorry because we're just going, but drop me a message. Drop me a DM on Discord or Twitter or whatever. I want to know a little bit more details, like what is your provider in particular. And I'm guessing the provider is the difference between your local computer and Cloudflare Pages. So that's what I would look at. But yes, we will go and raid and see all of you later at another time. Bye.